It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
Justin Fields spoke today. Got some good stuff from him. We're going to bring you here in just a second. The Bears, though, held a modified practice, is the way it was put, a short 7-on-7 outside, and then they moved indoors for just a simple walk through. The reason why, Matt Eberflus said, to get his guys to optimal levels for Sunday at this time of the year when everybody's a little bit more tired, a little bit more banged up. So just a sports performance thing for the Bears just to keep themselves, as he said, at optimal levels. Makes sense to me. One of the things that Matt Eberflus told us about Justin Fields is that he believes that his pocket presence is much better, and that question was followed up with the Bears with the Bears starting quarterback Justin Fields.
What about your pocket presence? Have you worked on it, or is it a comfortability thing? Is it a reps thing? Is it an experience level at this point?
Yeah, I think just, learning from past mistakes, I think that's the biggest thing where, last year at some points I would just, escape the pocket or just run for no reason. So, just trying to move in the pocket, fill out the pocket and throw the ball downfield. So it's going to be good.
Back to Kate's question about the pocket presence. And you just said that you just take off for no reason. Is that more like trusting your offensive lineman or trusting yourself that you can hang in there?
Not really. It's just kind of a feel thing, to be honest with you. Kind of having that mental clock and listening to your feet. So, of course you got to trust your lineman. You got to trust everybody that's on the field. But, yeah, just the mental clock in your head and, kind of just the feel in the pocket.
Love that answer. I love the admission that sometimes you would get rid of the ball for no reason, and it adds up a little bit because there were times where we saw that, and of course there were offensive line breakdowns and other things that went wrong. It's not all Fields, but yeah, there were times where, and a lot of times it worked out really well, but in the name of everybody wanting to see Justin Fields be a complete quarterback, which he has taken steps towards this year, it's interesting to hear that admission because it's gotten so much better this year in that regard. Another thing from Fields, it's been a big topic since basically Monday when Jaquan Brisker was talking about how the other teams are doing Justin Fields dirty with the late hits and the referees. So here's Justin Fields on his relationship with the referees before and during these games in terms of trying to get calls on these perceived late hits on Justin Fields that are not being called.
I mean, I talk to him before every game, so literally talked to the ref before every game. It happened on the first play of the game and didn't get a call. So, I mean, I really can't do anything about it. So I just get up and move on to the next play.
It's astonishing that you talked to him before the game and then the very first play.
It's just kind of frustrating, but not really astonishing because it, happens a lot. So.
Listen, I think what do you tell them in that conversation beforehand?
I just know, especially when we play the Lions, like I know how they play. I know what kind of team they are. So I know that they're going to, play hard and play to the end of the play. So I always tell them that I'm not trying to take any hits. I get down pretty fast and you just look out for me if they, see any late hits. I'm going to try to get down. I'm not going to try to do anything sneaky, this and that, like any fake slides or whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did they give you any feedback about why you're not getting the call?
No, I mean, after it happens, I don't really have time to ask them, like, why didn't I get a call? I just, move on to the next play, get the play call, and move on. So.
Justin, I think I remember in Pittsburgh your rookie year, it was one of the first times you talked about the frustration of not getting those. And it's been 2 years. I mean, how is that, maybe that frustration built, but you've also kind of learned different ways to move on past? I mean, is it crazy that you're in year 3 and it's still a topic of conversation?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, I really can't do anything about it, so it's just no reason to stress over it. It's like, it's whatever at this point.
He does sound a little defeated about it, a little bit like throwing his arms of like, I don't know what else I can do about it. I think in my theory is that he heard Jaquan Brisker. He hears us, reads us nationally, locally, whatever. And I know that these guys don't take in as much as we'd like to think that they do, but it's almost like everybody else is going to bat for him. So why does he need to do it right now? I mean, if he got hard on the refs or called other teams out, it's not going to do him any good right now. As a matter of fact, the only thing he could do is bad for him, as in he could very well get fined if he's talking out against the refs, although we haven't seen as much of that this year. I feel like the Bears players, Jaquan Brisker, and who knows? I don't know. Maybe he'll get fined. I don't know. But there has been a lot of guys have been a lot ballsier about talking about the refs. DJ Moore earlier this year, calling out the refs unapologetically, allowing follow-up questions, not backing down. So it's been interesting this year, but I think that the point is maybe being made a little bit better this week from a media standpoint. And we're not patting ourselves on the back. This is just a story, and we all see it with our own eyes, what's going on. So these are questions that we get to ask and that we get to discuss and have opinions on. Last cut here is the Bears get ready for Cleveland. Actually, no, we have a couple more. My bad. We got to hear from the Flus. Matt Eberflus started his press conference today by telling us that Yannick Ngakoue will be out for the season with a broken ankle. So what now, Mr. Eberflus?
Where does that now come from so there isn't a drop-off with the pass rush?
It's every snap. No, I would say really just it's everybody just step up, step up and, step into the roles, and lean into it, So when you have injury, you have an opportunity for people, for Dom, for a walk, for all those guys that are going to be in there, Dravon, everybody that's is going to have an uptick in reps because of that, loss of Yannick, and it's going to be Pick's going to have more reps, So I think it's really important for those guys to lean into the opportunity, right, and really have vision for the opportunity and vision for the plays you're going to make. So this is what the walkthrough practice is today about. That's what it's about. It's about guys visualizing themselves in the game plan, making plays in the game today, and then moving forward, making the corrections and moving on to the next day.
It sucks that Yannick Ngakoue is going to be out. I know he's only has 4.5 sacks this year, but he's still valuable. However, I'm looking forward to seeing Dominic Robinson hopefully get activated. He's been inactive for the last month. I'm looking forward to seeing Zach Pickens more on the field because we just haven't really heard his name called barely this year. Javon Dexter starting to improve. So I'm interested in seeing these guys step up and really seeing what kind of depth the Bears do have. Now we are on to the last thing, and this is Cole Kmet. The Browns, they got injuries, man, on their offensive line and their defensive line. 2 key starters out on defense. Their leading tackler, safety Grant Delpit, he is on injured reserve. He will not play, nor will defensive end Agbo Okoronkwo. He's the second leading sacker on the Browns to Myles Garrett. So Kmet was asked what it means.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of talented guys, though, so they got a good unit, and they're sticky in coverage, and they're aggressive, play downhill. So obviously look to take advantage of those things where some guys are out, but we understand that they got a good group, and they've been a good group all year, and one of the top defenses in the league. So it's gonna be a good challenge for us.
We noticed an uptick in the way people feel about the Bears. I don't know, with your buddies, if you're texting with the guys around it.
But it's always week to week. You know what I mean? So you go lay a dud this weekend, and it's all back to chaos and all that stuff. So. And then if you win, it's like, oh my God, Bears are back. Like, let's throw a parade. So you just got to take it one week at a time. And I think everyone here's done a really good job of just sticking to the process, sticking to the mindset. And, that stuff can't really waver, whether you win or lose. You got to look at the mistakes for what they are in a win or a loss. And you look at the good, look in the bad, but you just take this thing week to week.
Cole Kmet, a little bit jaded, isn't No. I mean, this is a Bears fan. He knows how it works. We go crazy when they lose, and we go crazy when they win. So slow and steady. For one time, I will accept week-to-week cliches from the players anyway. We're not allowed to do that. We don't work in a day-to-day. No, we do. We just have different things to say every day. Last things, few nuggets for you. Well, really just injury stuff mostly. DJ Moore missed practice today. Got an ankle injury. But as I said, it was a light practice, so it's possible this was an abundance of caution. I don't know that for a fact. That was the feeling I got because he was out there. he was joking around with guys, not walking with a limp or anything like that, talking about DJ Moore. My gut says that DJ Moore will be good to go by Sunday. I mean, we don't know. We're not going to know officially until Friday, and that's the next time we talk to Matt Eberflus. So, but there'll be another injury report out tomorrow, so we'll see if he is back out there. My gut is maybe he practices on Friday. If he's got a little bit of an ankle thing, let him, considering how valuable he is to you right now and all year, just let him make that thing 100%. As far as the rest of the injury report, Jaquan Brisker was limited in practice today. We saw him out there, but he's got a groin injury, as it turns out. Dylan Cole, really good special teams guy, out for personal reasons. Told you about DJ Moore. And Equinemius St. Brown dealing with that pectoral injury. He did not practice. Man, those things can be nasty. So my gut is that EQ is going to be out. But again, we don't know that for a fact. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this edition of the Daily Score. We appreciate it all the time because we do it every day. For our executive producer, Ray Diaz, I am Mark Grote. I will talk to you tomorrow.